U.S. government is short on funds for Ukraine and only has a few left, as said by the White House. Meanwhile, Ukrainian President Volodymr Zelenskyy urged his critics, or those who accuse him of seeking to consolidate power, to go to the front line and think about the war between Kyiv and Moscow. Andrea Santos reports.
The U.S. government is running out of pre-approved funds for Ukraine, with only $1 billion left, according to White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre. She explained that around 96% of the authorized funds have been used up, with the rest to be spent this December. $1 billion is the amount of money remaining in the replenishment authority, which allows the U.S. military to procure weapons from private contractors to replace the older equipment sent to Ukraine.
Look, we have roughly about $1 billion left in the replenishment authority. And so just to give a little bit of background on what that is, it is the process by which the DoD buys new weapons and equipment from American manufacturers to replace older equipment we are sending Ukraine, a process that is supporting manufacturing jobs across our country as DoD has jump-started and expanded production lines to support Ukraine. So $1 billion is left. Approximately 96% of replenishment funding has already been used, and the Department of Defense is preparing to allocate the remaining 4% this month. So that's what we're looking at. And so once we run out of the replenishment funds, we will not be able to backfill our own stocks, as I just laid out at the top, and replace what we send to Ukraine. And that is what is at stake here.
To recall, after a meeting with Ukrainian President Zelenskyy, U.S. President Joe Biden announced $200 million in military aid to Kyiv. This aid includes additional air defense interceptors, artillery, and ammunition. Biden has repeatedly urged the U.S. Congress to approve his $106 billion supplemental funding request, which includes around $60 billion in aid for Ukraine, assistance for Israel and Taiwan, and funds to boost the border between U.S. and Mexico. However, U.S. Senate Republicans do not want to greenlight the measure, as they want stricter immigration controls and funding. Some of the GOP members have also been reluctant and skeptical of providing aid to Ukraine. Meanwhile, Zelenskyy has urged his critics to go to the front line and that his political opponents should prioritize the conflict over anything else. Zelenskyy made the remarks in a recent interview with Bret Baier of Fox News. When asked about the accusations that he has sought to consolidate power and transformed Ukraine into an authoritarian state, Zelenskyy replied, quote, "I say to such a person from government or mayors, think about the war, think about how to defend our people. Don't travel through the world each day, travel to the front line. And don't cry because you're leaders. And that's it. That's why we are here, and that's why we stayed, because most of the people are not crying." End of quote. Reporting, this has been Andrea Santos, SMNI News.